Sag. Thanks for dropping in with me. We're here to do your weekly dip into the collective consciousness and just see what's coming up for Sagittarius on their path, how you can move forward in the most empowering way and take advantage of the opportunities that are on offer. This is for any significant Sagittarius placement, or if you have a prominent placement in the ninth house. Also, if you are a Gemini rising, that makes you a Sagittarius descendant, and you may find resonance with these messages. Let's just dive right into it and not waste any time opening up with the Arcane BS deck, just for a little absurdity in the mix. A little absurdity goes a long way to making the intolerable tolerable, all right? Maybe you've been dealing with an intolerable situation. You're trying to find the humor in a situation. Something's become so absurd that, you kind of have to just laugh at a certain point. Okay, we got the inverted squirrel here. So I do feel like there's a part of you that maybe used to be really connected to this idea of having to be in a place of real security, like almost not wanting to veer off of some chosen track that you had been on because it had become very familiar to you. And in that, there was a certain level of security, all right? I got a lot of sentience around this, but I feel like you're getting to this point where you're sort of like, security's overrated. That's how it's coming through. Security's overrated. If you don't feel alive, what's the point? Okay, all right. Yeah, I think you realize with your F tier that in some ways, you might have moved forward in such a way thinking, well, this is what gives me my security. But is it really security if you're, if you're hurting inside? If something's not really fulfilling you, or if you don't feel connected to it, or if you feel like you're constantly just like dodging daggers, okay, maybe you felt like you had to toe the line so you could just sort of have certain people approve of your actions, your choices, and you really would rather be doing something else with your life, but you're afraid of the fallout around that. And so you've been weighing this up, like risk versus reward kind of energy. I feel like you're hedging your bets. I do. I don't think you want to stay in this position where it's like, yeah, okay, I get to move forward, but is it really moving forward when I feel like I'm held back from doing what really feels, good to me on a soul level, what makes me happy? There's something you're reevaluating here. Ooh, yeah, I like it. And then you're getting moving forward in a whole new way with Papa Macho here. Where you weren't feeling really inspired, or you were like get up and go, got up and went. All right, I see you rediscovering that. And it's interesting because I think that once you really stand in your power and you take this bull by the horns, you're really going to come into your strength. And it's like, yeah, you may have been down for the count at one point. I do see that. There is some kind of injury here. There is some way that you feel like, you got dealt a raw deal, or maybe certain people weren't cool with you. I am seeing that bull reference. You could have been dealing with somebody who was born in the year of the ox. You could have been dealing with a Taurus in this situation. I think in that case, the tables have turned. I do feel like you're cutting off certain sexual connections as well, because you realize the way they work against you. You're finding strength in a situation where you didn't used to feel like you were empowered, and you're taking charge. I feel like you're cutting things off. You're getting back to, your own sense of healthy pride. I feel, it's not an arrogance. It's just really understanding who you are, what you've been through, what you are willing to deal with, and what you'll no longer tolerate. And you're kind of taking some steps to move forward in a new direction. I think as you do this, you start feeling more in your element. You feel good. Some of you may be dealing with somebody like this. Okay, you could be dealing with somebody who's a Papa Macho. Okay. They think that, I just heard that song. It's an old school song. I Want to Be Your Man. I can't remember who did it. Okay, so there's somebody here who feels like, hey, let all these other chumps sit on the sidelines. I know what I need to do to step up to the plate. I'll take this bull by the horns. I'm not intimidated. I know what I'm working with. All right. So somebody's getting ready to move forward. Your chariot has arrived. That's what I just heard. Somebody's pretty adamant about what they want to do in a particular situation, and they're not allowing others to have power over them anymore. They're tired of just telling the lie for the sake of like keeping things safe or secure, or rather to keep everybody else feeling safe and secure. Maybe there's been too much conscious awareness around that and not enough considering what really makes you feel alive, what really makes you feel in your element. Sag, I think you're doing this. Okay, yeah, and it's interesting. Just as I said that, space death landed on the ground here. So I do feel like you're throwing this away right here. I think you've taken enough space. I think you've, you know, done what you needed to do. I feel like this is almost like space where you were separated from something that you felt really in alignment with, or something you wanted to develop, a certain direction you wanted to go in, but because you came up against so much resistance, maybe within your family, maybe within just your own like framework of how you thought your life was going to pan out. This could be with a career trajectory. This could be within a social circle, but in some way you felt kind of like isolated, separated from a certain direction you wanted to pursue, something you wanted to invest in. And I think you kind of went along with it because you wanted to keep everybody happy. You know, you recognize that as you started to think more in self-interest and head in directions that inspired you, or, you know, make that move you wanted to make, or take that opportunity, that job offer you wanted to take, you noticed the way that it kind of unsettled people around you. And how this was kind of a source of tension, conflict, drama, and you didn't really want to deal with that. So you kind of just, it's almost like you put your dreams on the shelf just to sort of keep the peace. But as you did this, you just started feeling more and more isolated, even as you were surrounded with these people, you know, and you started to really question, is this really the solution? Because I'm not feeling connected to my experience here. I need a little something more. I feel like you've taken enough space, and there's something you've seen in this situation. This might have really come forward for you in Aquarius season, where you're like, I have a clear vision now. And I also see the ways that people were kind of getting in my way because maybe in some sense they had a little bit of FOMO. They had some fear of missing out. They felt like maybe you would, you know, head in a certain direction, and for one reason or another, they would no longer have the same place in your life or the same priority in your life. And again, it's kind of this thing where it's like choosing what you're going to do or what you're going to invest in according to how it's going to affect other people. And I do feel like you did that for a long time, but there's something that's changing here. You're wanting something more for yourself, okay? And I do also feel like you realized that there was a particular person maybe who really wasn't serving your best interest in this situation. It was hard for you to see this, but I feel like you cleansed away this energy from this person. You may have felt like a lot of passive aggression from this person, or just something just didn't feel quite right. But either way, you saw a certain truth about a particular connection. And when you saw it, you recognized, I need to just kind of like cleanse myself of this. I need to call it good. I've seen the truth now. I know what's real for me. And I feel like you're now moving forward in a place where you did a lot of integration around all of that. And now it's off to something new. Okay, so let's see what you're off to, Sagittarius. What's coming in for Sagittarius? What's the download, Spirit? What does Sagittarius need to know about what is coming in here? One more round, and then I'm being instructed to pick up this Owl Tarot. Okay, all right. Yeah, you know, Papa Macho came out again. Okay, oh, so you're giving somebody else space. Interesting. Interesting. You might be giving a Pisces space. You might be kind of like leaving them on red, or, you know, just taking a time out, putting them on timeout in this situation. I think maybe this could have been somebody, you saw something about that you weren't aware of before. And now you sort of realize like, ooh, I might need to transform this connection. There might be something going on here that I'm not aware of. There's like a target on the sun there, like a target on the happiness. You know, maybe this person's been trying to reach out. Okay, they've been trying to reach out for you. Oh, that's an interesting way for that to be put. Trying to reach out for you. They do have this knife in their hands and they're cutting that noose. So I feel like this person's tired of being on hold. They're tired of being left on red. And it's interesting because bottom of the deck here, what do we got? We got the king-ish. Okay, so you're like, nope, I've flushed this. I know what's up with this. There's the bull reference again. Maybe you thought it was a bunch of BS, you know. It's something here has you really got your hackles up for sure. You're definitely in a position where you're kind of like, you know, defending your space. You're taking space from somebody. This person's not too happy about it though. They have a target on your happiness. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe they feel like they don't want you to get some kind of success or some kind of happiness because in some way they feel like you don't deserve it. All right. There could be too much of a controlling element in this situation. I say that because we have an eagle chained to a calf. Okay. So with eagle medicine, eagle is all about great spirit. It's also about that ability to be free, you know, and have a bird's eye view. And someone here wants to make you more docile. Okay. So there's a controlling element here. And you might have gone along with this for a while. I have to say that you're giving the finger to it now. I see that. And here you are again. You're taking this bull by the horns. Papa Macho came out again. So there's some figure here that you've been dealing with. And I feel like you're putting this person on hold because you started to realize the way that maybe, you know, this person wasn't completely for you. Yeah, I think for a long time you said, oh, it's probably nothing. Maybe you had suspicions about this. Like you just noticed like the shapeshifter quality to this person. 1 minute they were one way. The next minute you're like, wait a minute, I'm kind of like feeling a little passive aggression here. Like what's going on with this? You kept telling yourself it's probably nothing. Maybe they're just going through something, okay? But it's interesting because if you look at this card here, it says nobody. Okay, so we've got nobody. It's probably nothing. I shouldn't like suspect anything with this person. You know, I'm sure they have my best interests at heart, but there's a little bit of a trickster energy here. Okay, with that clown energy, there's a little bit of trickster medicine operating in this situation. Yeah, I feel like where you put somebody on hold, they're not going to be on hold much longer. This person is trying to, in one way, shape, or form, get reconnected with your energy. They might be trying to tap into you energetically. They do got a target on your happiness. So I don't know what that's about, but apparently this person feels like you don't deserve some kind of success, some kind of happiness, kind of the deck energy. Yeah, this is somebody really clingy energy. We got sex, witch, octopus. Okay, very clingy energy here that needs to be released. I think you've tried to release this. Maybe you're needing to take a little bit more strong measures with releasing this energy because it seems like whoever this is not getting a hint. Okay, they're not getting the memo. You tried to put them on red, you know, they tried to just like stop interacting. It's not working. It's not. This person feels like you owe them an explanation. They feel like you owe them some answers. You feel very defensive toward this energy. You've seen something and you know what's up and you don't want this energy around you. I feel that. You could have had, you know, like a hookup with this person and you feel like the energy is just really clingy, or you felt like this person desired you in that way. Maybe you didn't feel the same. There could be like an unrequited love kind of situation here, all right? And you feel like this energy just will not let go, all right? you might need to formally release this a little bit more definitively than just avoiding it. Okay, you might need to make it really clear, like, I'm out on this, I'm done with this. Let me see the other side here. Yeah, I mean, this has a lot to do with orgy here. This is a little bit you know, too many too many you know, cooks in the kitchen spoils the pot. That's what it is. This is a complicated arrangement. There's a lot of people involved in this situation. It's gotten a little bit dramatic. It's gotten a little bit clingy. Maybe something was just supposed to be for fun. Maybe something was just a casual hookup. Somebody took it to mean, like, you know, sign on the dotted line, I'm in it for a lifetime. You know, to somebody, they wanted it to be more. Somebody might have felt led on in this situation. They might have not anticipated they were getting into something that was so messy, but there are a lot of people involved here. And if you notice the looks on their faces, these people all feel kind of confused and bewildered. So there's something messy about this situation that's been a little bit problematic. And I feel like that's why you've taken some space from it. But some connections might be harder to release. Okay, there's somebody here that's really not willing to just kind of be sidelined. I got that. Okay, so this message coming in definitely looks like some kind of like romantic situation, dating situation. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of other details here. Let's go ahead and pull out that owl tarot and see what comes in. It's on the bottom of the deck here. Yeah, there's your sun. Okay, maybe you had a lot of people involved, you know, in supporting you initially in heading in a certain direction that was all about you achieving some kind of success, some kind of goal, some kind of happiness. You might have involved other people in this. You might have asked for their help, their assistance in some way. You started to realize at some point that maybe there was a little bit of jealousy involved in the mix, that maybe other people also were gunning for a certain sort of happiness in the situation, or what they viewed as success that was at odds with what, you know, you had in mind. And things started to get a little bit of complication in the mix here. But there is also sort of like messy connections in terms of just like hookup energy, people dating each other, and maybe in this way sort of forming their own little factions, and that caused a lot of division within a group, because then soon everybody had their own ideas and they were all running counter to the original focus of what your intention was for pulling all these people into the mix in the first place. Okay, but I feel like you are preserving some happiness, some success for yourself, but it feels to me almost like you're pulling away from the pack in regard to this. Like maybe at first you wanted to work with other people, and now you're like, no, I think I want to work on my own. I think I want to follow my own direction and follow my own inspirations. And I see the way that it doesn't really work, because, you know, this was my idea, or this was my dream, or this was where I wanted to focus my attention. Then suddenly my dream got hijacked by a bunch of nonsense. That's what I got. Got High Priestess on the bottom of the deck here. All right. So definitely with this High Priestess energy, you very well could have been dealing with a Pisces with the High Priestess here as well. There could be a little bit of moon magic in the mix here. Okay. Somebody could have been pulling some strings in this regard. This might be the way that this person is trying to tap into you right now. Maybe they're doing readings on you. Maybe they are, you know, trying to tap in on a psychic level. You know, maybe they are, they could even be doing some workings. I mean, we did see that eagle chained to a calf, so they could be doing, you know, some kind of workings as well to try to, you know, rein you back in. That's possible. You could have done some work with this person on this level, but there's something here that is hidden, and you're going to have to follow your intuition on this. All right, let's get some more details here. What's coming in here for Sagittarius? What does Sagittarius need to know about this situation? I think your intuition is really lit right now. Like, you do know what's going on. I don't think that you're in any doubt about the situation you're dealing with. I think that that's why you've taken certain steps to put down certain boundary lines and kind of like pull away from certain connections, because you know that something's not right. All right. I also feel like you're stepping more into your empowerment, and you know what you need to do. You know where you're going. Okay, we've got Queen of Wands coming out on the board here. All right, so fire sign energy. This is your energy, and again, it comes up with those sunflowers. So we see very clearly, you know, that you're going for your dreams, and you feel very independent about this. Very independent, very self-assured. Okay. You know what you're going for, your heart's aligned, and you don't need anybody to help you get there. I see that, all right? You're very focused right now. Very, very focused. I notice there's like a desert scenery here. So it may look to outsiders like, oh, you don't really got anything going on right now, but you do. You know what I mean? It's sort of like they feel like you're not really growing anything, you're not really developing anything. That's what they see on the surface, but you kind of want it that way because there's something that you're building here, you know, independently, and you don't want to let people get the info on this, because if they do, you can see how it can cause problems, right? So I do feel like there's something you're developing quietly here. Yes, and then we got the Queen of Pentacles coming in here. So there's something you're growing, there's a new beginning you want, there's something very solid here, you're committed to it, and you're really wanting to move into more of that position of really having authority over your own life instead of other people having so much sway. Some of you are about to step into a new direction in terms of your career, and it's because you're striking out independently. It's going to be the thing that's extremely successful for you. 22:11 on the clock. I see you leveling up and also finding the work a lot more rewarding. You could be dealing with another fire sign energy in regard to this, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, but I do feel like this is something that you're really wanting to step into. But there's something that's kind of getting in the way in this situation, and that's this Emperor in reverse. All right. So you are dealing with some character in this situation who is being really controlling, and they are blocking forward motion. They're interfering with this. There could be somebody here, in fact, that does know that you're wanting to invest in a particular direction, or somebody else is wanting to invest in you, and they're trying to cut that off at the pass. This could be a Taurus, this could be an Aries, okay? Operating from a place of being too controlling or having too much say in a situation, too much authority, all right? Yeah, I mean, with this coming in with the Queen of Pentacles right next to that Emperor, it does give the vibe of heavy Taurus in this situation. Could be sort of like the fly in the ointment. Let me get a clarification on that. Tell me about this Queen of Pentacles. What does Sagittarius need to know about this Queen of Pentacles in the mix here? This could be somebody presenting some kind of business opportunity, or they want to collaborate, or they want you to commit to something with them. It could be commitment. We did see a lot of that energy come in the beginning of the read. This could be somebody that you hooked up with. You know, maybe you saw it more casual. This person wanted something more. You know, they feel like you're being selfish. Okay, that's possible. Let's get some ideas here. I think you're just really an independent energy. That's what it looks like to me. You know, you're a very independent energy. Tell us about this Queen of Pentacles for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know about this Queen of Pentacles? Five of Swords. Yep. Okay. So yeah, you know that this person, you know, this person actually throws you out of balance. Like when I think of this energy, I think of Emperor, you know, in reverse. And I think, you know, somebody who's meant to be in a position of authority or power also can get kind of dethroned, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's working at odds against them here. This is a sabotaging influence to whatever you're wanting to come into alignment with. Strong Taurus energy with that Emperor there. You could have a strong Taurus placement in your chart as well. There is something here that is out of balance, but you know that something here has betrayed you, has betrayed your trust, and you cannot rely on this person, you know. This is somebody who can hold you back, so you might be, you know, wanting to really be mindful of what you share with certain people, especially about some new opportunity for you. And it could be around business, right? So this could be somebody that you've worked with before, and in some way they could have a sabotaging influence on you, really hitting the target with this success. I get that this new direction you're heading in, it leads to a lot of happiness, success, and for you it's a big level up. But there's somebody here that they got, like, it's like they got a target on your happiness and they don't feel like you deserve it. They might feel like you're really selfish, or in some way you're not considering their feelings or what works for them. And I just feel like you did that for a long time and you were the one who really suffered as a result. So there's something you're redressing the balance on here. 26, 26. Okay. 8 could be significant. The 8th, life path number 8. You know, these could have something to do with this situation. You could be dealing with a Leo or Virgo. Okay. That August energy coming in. Let me do a cut of the deck here. See what we got. King of Cups, okay. Water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. 9 of Pentacles here. I think you're like, you know what? I'm fine on my own. I feel like this is what you're saying. You're like, I know what fulfills me. I see you moving into this super independent energy, you know, very independent energy. And this is a solitary energy here. Okay, when we're looking at the 9 of Pentacles, there's something you're growing here for yourself. And you don't want tag along energy with this. In fact, you're really putting an end to where you did have collaborations before around something you were growing on a business level or working toward a particular goal. That for you, it's like your heart's really on the line with this thing. You're invested in it. Where you pulled other people in, you're pulling out. You're like, nope, that's fine. I can go my own way. I can build this for myself. And also, this is something about you really redeeming yourself in this way. Like you're wanting this. You're wanting to get back into your own sense of personal empowerment in a situation. So I see you like closing cycle on 2 connections, actually. I really see this. There could be a Scorpio in the mix in this situation. There could also be a hermit involved in this situation as well, which would be Virgo energy. But I feel like you're really going your own way. You know how to bring the light back into your life, and it doesn't involve, you know, bringing all these people into the mix that are working at odds with you, right? And there is something you are majorly transforming here. There's a bit of alchemy at work, and you could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could be dealing with an Aries in this regard. And for you, this is a very positive turn of fortune. Wheel of Fortune here. Things get moving. They get moving rapidly. And it's all because you moved away from this hanged man energy. And you may leave them scratching their head. They don't know how you pulled it on them. They feel like you pulled a fast one. But while they all duke it out, and while they're all fighting over this, you're moving straight ahead to victory with the 6 of Wands. So stay on course.